Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, listen. What was that took place last night? I need somebody to answer that. What did we just watch with Santillan against Rocha? Yo, I've had people come into the comments because I said, hey, well, let me play for you what I said, right? Because I still can't understand what happened. Now, before the fight even took place, I did a video, a YouTube short, where I said this. Santillan and Rocha are going to be getting it on this weekend. And I'm going to tell you right now, I like Rocha. He can fight. Really impressed me, man. But this Santillan guy, he may outbox Rocha and find himself winning a decision. So I said that I like Rocha. I've done a lot of videos on Rocha. But I recognize that Santillan has something special about him. And I wouldn't have been surprised if he got the win. Because he's that good of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. I didn't expect what I saw last night. And I stand on this. It's more of a compliment. But then I went and made this video immediately after the fight. Test Santillan immediately for the cocktail. I have not seen any fighter fight like that. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a fighter fight like that. And I mean what I said. I can't recall ever seeing a fighter, just become more and more explosive, faster, stronger as each second of the fight progresses. And other people felt the same way. Like, whoa. Now, when I said, hey, test him for the cocktail, that's a compliment. Like, yo, my man, what you did can't be, like he made the impossible possible. But there are other people who saw it too, and as a result, some people have an opinion about Santillan and what he can do in boxing. Let me tell y'all right now, this guy Santillan, he put everybody on notice. And I know for a fact he'll beat Errol Spence. But Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford, I'm not sure, but I'm not betting against them. I'll play that again for you. Let me tell y'all right now, this guy Santillan, he put everybody on notice. And I know for a fact he'll beat Errol Spence. But Boots Ennis and Terrence Crawford, I'm not sure, but I'm not betting against them. And I mean that. Santillan, the way he fights, now I'm going to tell y'all right now, styles make fights. Styles make fights. Santillan isn't a guy who's going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He's one of those guys, if you're foolish enough to stand in there and trade with him, you're probably not going to do that well, right? That's his style of fighting. You know, when you start learning boxing, you start learning about just turn your shot over. You know what I mean? Don't load up. Just shoot from the hip. You know, throwing tight, sharp, accurate punches. That's how you generate a lot of your power, just keeping everything tight. Not many fighters you see who have mastered that. And Santillan, I'm telling y'all, he can do it. He was killing Rocha. Rocha and him used to be sparring partners, man. Them guys were, I think, in the same stable at one time. But Rocha went out there, man, and wanted to let his balls hang. And he went out there and he got himself castrated. Trying to out-bang the banger, man. You got to box him. So that brings me to the next thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, Santillan, Errol Spence can't beat him. He can't beat him. I don't think Errol Spence can beat him. And I don't think Errol Spence will ever cross that road because Errol Spence is definitely going, his trajectory is up and away from the 147-pound division. But when you look at the 140, 147-pound division, because I think Santillan could easily go up to 147. But at 140, yo, everybody needs to stay away from him. The way to beat him is the jab. And I was like, I know he's 140, but I was thinking about Crawford. I was thinking about Boots Ennis. And I was like, you know what? They could easily beat him. They're just out jabbing. They have excellent engines as well, and they can really slow the fight down and control the fight with their jab. Shakir Stevenson may have a good opportunity against him, just using that jab and being smart and controlling the distance. At 140, Ryan Garcia gets destroyed. Simple. Regis Prograis will get destroyed unless he lands a big shot on him. But he struggled with Zorrilla. He comes in trying to fight these toe-to-toe battles with a guy like this. You know, you're probably not going to win unless you can hurt him. You have to hurt him. And just the other 140 pounders out there, Rolly Romero and those guys, I just think they get overwhelmed. Unless you're a boxer and you have an educated jab, a stiff jab, an Ike Corte type jab, bazooka jab, you're going to be in trouble. It's not just the inside fighting. It's the fact that every second of the fight, he's getting faster. He's getting stronger. He has durability. How? That's why I said, man, test him for the cocktail. It's a compliment. But I'm curious to know, somebody got that sauce. And remember, when I say the cocktail, it doesn't mean it's some bad substance. They have the legal cocktails. Who the hell did he work with? Because they're not disclosing that. I'd be curious to know if Alex Ariza was over there in that camp helping out. You know, Alex Ariza, they got the little connection over there. I know him and Garcia, you know, they had their little falling out, but when it comes to opportunities, you know, people tend to set the differences aside and, you know, try to make things happen. But all I'm saying is, if this guy Santillan, right, if he achieved that kind of performance, that kind of stamina, that kind of output, just off of dieting, exercise, training, stretching, and he was able to put on that kind of performance, because he just struggled against, what's his name, guy's name, DeMarco? But he was able to put on that kind of performance. Well, then everybody needs to fire Ariza, fire Conti, fire Heredia, fire Usman Sajjad. Get rid of them. Because guys are picking up those pharmaceutical geniuses in hopes that they could work with them and achieve on fight night a performance equal to or somewhat close to what Santillan put on last night against Rocha. And I'm going to tell you right now, if my man did that, just off of him and Pops and Grandma and whoever else, Auntie sitting there making food and dieting and doing it all his way with no outside help, and we need to know the secrets, man. He need to publish a recipe book. He need to publish a strength and conditioning book. He need to publish his workouts. He'll become a gazillionaire because it's not like Rocha's a slouch. People out here talking, that's what pisses me off, right? All of a sudden, oh, Alexis Rocha, he's a tomato can. Alexis Rocha should be working at the airport sniffing luggage. Alexis Rocha had holes cut out in his drawers. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? All of a sudden, the man got holes cut out in his drawers? Just because he lost to Santillan? Come on, man. Alexis Rocha can't even change a light bulb. No, I'm going to tell you what happened. Alexis Rocha fought the wrong fight. He has pride, man. You know what I'm saying? He went in there, allowed his pride and ego to get to him, and tried to outbang Santillan. That was the fight that they were hoping for, and they got it, and he capitalized. You see when he hit that man with like 6 hooks? The man turned to a Mexican Roy Jones in there. Roy Jones. That man turned into Roy Jones in there, didn't he? But anyway, I'm still trying to process what I just watched. I'm trying to process it. I'm telling y'all I'm trying to process it. When I watched Deontay Wilder fight Tyson Fury, in the second and third fight, I remember thinking, man, they need to stop this fight. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder's going to get killed. When I watched Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, I was thinking, I was shouting at the TV, stop the effing fight. Like, it was that bad. Apollo Creed and Ivan Drago, shouting at the TV, stop the effing fight. What I watched last night, I was so confused, I didn't have anything to say. My mouth was agape, tongue was hanging out my mouth, wrapped around my head, dragging across my scalp. And I was like, what is going on in the ring? I couldn't process it. I'm telling you, man. Crazy. So let me see if I can pull this up. Right? Let's really try to understand what's next for him. Did y'all catch De La Hoya? De La Hoya suggesting, without saying it, saying that he thought the guy was on the cocktail, the illegal cocktail. I don't know if y'all caught that. I caught it. But we'll see. We'll see if he expounds. But I caught it. It was funny when he said it last night, because De La Hoya eyes. I don't know if De La Hoya on that stuff, but his eyes are always all crazy looking and shit. But let's look right here. Okay. So that guy who just fought, if you put him in there with Teofimo, the guy who fought last night, who wins that fight? Because you got to hurt him to stop him, right? Taylor, he's at 147 pro grade. I don't think he beats Ramirez. I don't know Matias. He's right-handed, but he fights southpaw. Oh, no, he's left-handed, but he fights orthodox. As long as you take that away, you're good. Hitchens will be a good fight for him because Hitchens has the jab. I think Hitchens will win that fight just because of his ability to box and control the distance. Catterall loses. Barbosa Jr., Russell, Ergashev, Martin. I'm just not I'm not sold on those guys getting in there and stopping Santillan. But I tell you what, when you come and you take a look at these names out here, man, it really makes you wonder who at 140 could beat him. But when you come up here to 147, where Santillan is hanging around, right? Because I think Santillan, I think he can get down to 140. But at 147, you put a guy like that in with, first of all, Santillan was number 6. See, that's what I don't understand. Rocha was number 1. And then they had Crowley, Ellis, Earl Spence, and Santillan. So Crowley, something's going on with Crowley because he just posted some nonsense about he retired. Ellis must have turned the fight down. We know what's going on with Spence, so he ended up fighting Santillan, which is crazy. But when you think about that Santillan, who can beat him? You got Crawford would beat him, I think. Spence, I don't think so. Ennis would. Ortiz Jr., I think that would be a very tough fight for both of them, but Ortiz Jr. is at 154. Stanley Eunice and Santillan will be a tough fight. I don't know, Stanley Eunice is tough, man, but that'll be a good fight. Rocha just fell off, so Santillan should be here in the mix now. Crowley, he seems to be going through a lot. Before he came to America, he was having issues out there in Canada, wanted to quit boxing and everything, so I'm not surprised if he's talking about quitting again because there's something going on with him mentally. Avanesian would lose that fight. I don't know much about Giasov. Barrios would fight, and I don't know if Barrios has the power. I don't know just how that would work, but that would be a very entertaining fight. Villa would be an entertaining fight. But those short, crisp, fast punches, I just think Santillan gets there, beats him to the punch and has the upper hand. When you look at down here, these other names, Jamal James, Yugas would get destroyed. Keith Thurman, I think that's a bad fight. Boutier would be a fun fight to watch. But when you look at these names, just based off what we saw last night, right? So from 140 to 147, it's just hard. From 140 to 147. I'm only seeing a couple guys who I think would really based on that performance, it got to be people who have a very good jab and boxer punchers who can make him respect their boxing ability, but also where he respects their punching power, where he doesn't want to be stupid and come in and get caught with something. But if he's able to get on the inside, it's over. He's going to let his hands go. But anyway, I'm going to sit here and keep processing what I just saw. I'm telling y'all, that was crazy. Crazy. But when you look at the fact that he's 32, now 33 wins, that just, and zero losses, that just tells you a lot about him and trying to get an opportunity. I mean, let's understand something. So he's an undefeated fighter with 32 wins, and not many people know anything about him. Just looking at the top 15, there's no other fighter on here except Boots Ennis that's over 30 wins without any losses. Boots is 31 wins, no losses. Santillan's 32 wins, no losses. But everybody knows about Boots. Nobody really knew much about Santillan. But now everybody knows about Santillan. So you got Santillan and Boots at 147. Because I'm just planning on Crawford and Spence leaving 147. Santillan and Boots may be the two guys that carry that division. I'm serious. But again, styles make fights, you know what I'm saying? But Boots is 31-0. Santillan's 32-0. It took for these guys to get to this point in their career to be 30-plus fights to finally start getting their recognition that they deserve. Isn't that crazy? Who dropped the ball there? But anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. What the F did we just watch? Yo, I'm in the breeze.